In this video, we'll review some key aspects of collage artwork from mainstream art and art history, along with a small subset of example artworks from artists we'll reference throughout the unit. The approaches you'll see are just as relevant to working digitally as they are to using traditional methods. Collage typically incorporates multiple media types, for example, drawing, painting, photographs, objects, newspapers, magazines, and others. In this example by Marianne Brandt, you'll see several different modes of photography combined with three-dimensional objects. Collage elements are often layered, where image elements overlap and interact with one another. This is a great example of that by Hannah Hosch, where virtually the only rectangular edges are on the bounds of the collage itself. Collage imagery often draws from mass media sources like newspapers, books, or magazines. In this example, the artist Martha Rosler has combined images of Vietnam War combat from Life magazine with images of the homes of affluent Americans published in House Beautiful magazine. You may hear collage described as mixing high and low culture together. Another way to talk about this is that collage mixes the art world with the outside world. Like in this example by John O'Reilly, where a snapshot from a high school wrestling match is overlaid on top of an image of a 16th century oil painting of Christ's crucifixion. Of course, these aren't images that would normally go together, and the way that they're being compared and contrasted here, both in terms of subject and composition, is part of what makes this collage so interesting. We could also describe the collage approach as subversive, where the artist takes the original nature of the subjects or the materials and changes it into something else. A great example of that is Diana Fonseca Quinones' work, which is created from paint chips collected from rundown buildings around Havana, Cuba. So she's taken material created by economic hardship and neglect and turned it into something expressive and harmonious. Although collage has a rich and varied history, some of its heaviest influences include ideas from the anarchist, Dada, punk, and other movements. These ideas include a focus on being left-wing and sympathetic to common people. Believe it or not, that actually comes through in this example by Pablo Picasso, where a composition depicting a bottle of liquor and a glass also contains legible newspaper clippings detailing wartime cholera epidemics and political protests. Many collage artists were influenced by anti-war sentiments, one in particular being John Heartfield. He used collage through the lead-up and into World War II as a form of critique and protest. Many collage artists were influenced by ideas of being anti-bourgeois, rebelling against the logic, wealth, power, and dominant cultural structures of their time. An example of that way of thinking comes from Hans Arp, who made this collage by dropping torn paper to the floor and pasting each scrap wherever it happened to land. Artists like Arp saw the use of abstraction, collage, and chance procedures as a form of protest against the expectations of the art world and the societal forces I just mentioned. Okay, that's an overview of some key aspects of collage artwork from mainstream art and art history. We'll also touch on specific examples related to each week's assignment throughout this unit.